Good morning. It is New Comic Book Day, live from Robot Zero Comics in beautiful, scenic downtown Geneva, Ohio. Where are we located? Funny you should ask. We are located at routes 534 and routes 20, where they intersect in downtown Geneva, Ohio. Northwest corner, we're in between Alibi Bar and Grill, and we are between Honeybee's Restaurant and Old Familiar Ways. Our Old Familiar Ways is our direct next door neighbor. Sell a lot of cool stuff. You should definitely check it out while you're here at Robot Zero. Patrick, what's up? We got three other viewers. Want to say thanks for joining us. Klaus, what's happening? So anyways, you can get a hold of us. Sean, what's happening? Good to see you, bud. It is almost time to open. We'll open at 11 a.m. If you want to get a hold of us, send us an email at info@robot, ROBOT-0ZERO.com, or just give us a call, 440-415-1228. We're open until 6 o'clock today, tomorrow, and Friday, and then open until 4 on Saturday and Sunday. So thanks for watching. Dr. Ben, thanks for joining us as always. We do have a trigger warnings, Red Room. Ed Piskor is back. I actually had the pleasure, Ed Piskor, who's done tons of cool stuff, but something you may recognize, X-Men Grand Design, Hip Hop Family Tree, and right now he's doing Red Room. He actually came up to my table he's from Pittsburgh, came up to my table when I was at Toy Palooza a couple weeks ago. Pretty cool guy. Got to say hello and introduce myself. Yeah, New Comics Day, that's right. So we're going to jump into it because there are a lot of comics, a lot of Marvel comics out this week, light on the DC, and a decent amount of independent stuff out. So we run the gamut here at Robot Zero, and we're going to flip this camera around and get to it. For those that may have missed out, and hopefully I have some more coming, but we have second prints of Black Panther number 3, which is also considered issue number 200 in the long run. Of things, the legacy numbering, as Marvel likes to call it. And this second printing, we wanted to get more because we sold out the first time around. We want to keep this series going because John Ridley's writing it, and it's been fantastic so far. Either way, this issue sold out because this is a first appearance of this character on the cover. His name is Tosin. A pretty cool character. I'm not sure what they have planned for him, but I'm excited to see what may come for him. So you get 3 stories in this book. You get one written and drawn by Geneva, who is a very, very famous comics artist and creator. And then we have the main story by John Ridley. And then you'll have to forgive me, there's a backup story. I forget exactly what that one's about since I've read it. But Black Panther's been really good. A lot of ins, a lot of outs, a lot of what have yous, as the Big Lebowski would say. It's a really great book. T'Challa's kind of caught between leading the Avengers, leading Wakanda. Wakanda is now a democracy, no longer a monarchy, but the democracy is heavily influenced by the opinions and beliefs of their king, T'Challa. And there is a division within the parliament. There could be a war breaking out within Wakanda here soon because those that believe in democracy and those that are heavily influenced by T'Challa, neither one is wrong, but there needs to be some type of, they need to work out something here very soon. We have 4 issues out. We've got them all in stock. And hopefully we have more second prints coming because I have a feeling this one may go quick today. We've got Captain Carter, number 1 in her miniseries. Peggy Carter from the What If series debuts in her very first, not ongoing, but her very first series. Pretty cool. They give her the story of Captain America. In this, she is adapting to a modern world. She's been broken out of the ice. She was there since World War II, and now she's adjusting to this new world and what missions may come her way as she emerges into this new place. The artwork was pretty cool. Jamie McKelvey's writing it. He's been a long-time comic writer and creator, so Captain Carter is definitely in good hands. I'm a sucker for anything Captain America related, so I did enjoy this. But this will be a mini-series, I believe 5 or 6 issues. And then we have one of my favorite things from one of my favorite creators, Devil's Reign, number 5 of 6, from Chip Zdarsky. We also have out this week a tie-in, Moon Knight. Devil's Reign, Moon Knight is tying in to Devil's Reign overall. This will be a little mini-series, probably at most 3 or 4 issues, at the very most. But if you haven't been reading Moon Knight, this is being written by Jed McKay, the man that is the creator that is writing the ongoing Moon Knight series right now. So this will be taken, a direct tie into the ongoing series as well. So that's pretty cool. Great covers here as well. We just have the one there in stock. This is the variant cover. Variant cover right here. Then we have Devil's Reign tie-in, Superior 4, number 3 of 4. Hawkeye number 5 wraps up this miniseries. Which, if you want to read the miniseries, we have a bundle of it here for you. Just let me know, and we will make sure you get it. We've got second prints of She-Hulk number 1 because we are completely sold out of She-Hulk number 1. Thank you very much, guys. And this is a great book. It's a lot of fun to read. It's what comics should be, which is fun. And Marvel's been really good at that lately, putting out a lot of fun stuff to read. And this is one of them. Definitely check out She-Hulk number 1 by Rainbow Rowell, who's usually an artist, but now she's trying her hand at writing, and Marvel has found a great talent in both writing and artwork. We've got Moon Knight number 7 because we were completely sold out of that as well. Second prints there, nice black and white cover of the original. Which, if you're not reading it, definitely get it. We've got a couple other Moon Knight related books around the store. If you just want a little taste of Moon Knight and who he is and not get involved in an ongoing series, we've got a couple books here. 2 other number 1s this week from Marvel. Punisher number 1, written by one of the architects of Marvel's current universe and the Avengers, a pretty big name over at Marvel. Jason Aaron is writing this. This is a limited series. I believe it's going to run 12 issues. And for everyone that was worried that the Punisher, oh my God, the Punisher skull's going away. They've taken it from us. It's not going anywhere. There are 3 covers. I don't know if we have them all, but 3 covers that feature the current Punisher skull, the new Punisher skull, and 3 covers that feature the old Punisher skull. That being one right there. The Alex Ross Timeless cover is pretty cool. And then we have the main cover here, Punisher cover, with featuring the classic Punisher skull. So it's not going anywhere, guys. Nothing to worry about. This is temporary because in this story, he's working for the Hand. And I can't remember the character's name right now, but there's an older lady that's the head of the Hand that notices what the Punisher's known as the Slayer in the Hand right now. Also the Punisher, but the Slayer. And she notices like what a master of death Frank Castle is. So she recruits him into the Hand. We see that kind of happen. And this book is brutal. It definitely lives up to Punisher standards. He just kills bad people. No trial, no justice whatsoever. Very the opposite of Captain America. What is right? No trials, just straight death for those that do evil. And it comes out here. It's a violent book. I was surprised, for Marvel being a little bit more, taking less chances, because they're owned by Disney. Definitely Punisher lives up to his name in this book. Gwenverse number 1. This book was a ton of fun to read. It was written by Tim Seeley, who has a great sense of humor, I think. Right off the bat, we've got the She Bodega Bandit. She is just eating all the snacks at the bodega, and Spider-Gwen is there. She's trying to be in a band. She's trying to just live her life between 2 different universes, going to school in the main 616 and then living her life. That's not so hectic. There are superheroes and supervillains, but not to the extent in her world, Earth 65, but not to the extent here in 616. So when she comes over to 616, she feels like she's somebody, she feels, more powerful. Not that she's literally powerful, but she just feels better about what she's doing because there's so much more of it there, and she's a major player in what's happening there. In her own Earth, at Earth 65, she's in a band. She helps out with stuff. There's not a lot of super criminals, a lot of super crimes going down. So here she's, like I showed you, she's taking on the she bandit, bodega bandit. So then it jumps way into the future. There is this pop star known as Final, Finale. And and it's the end of time. She's having her last concert. It's the end of times. The world is about to collapse in on itself. And she wants to live on forever by projecting herself into the future in many different ways. She'll be many different beings across many different Earths and many different times. She's assembled a team of alien scientists and human scientists to do this, but they were missing one person. Someone couldn't show up to help out, and the calculations got messed up, and this beam that's going to create all this for finale hits Spider-Gwen, and now Spider-Gwen is many different beings across many different times and places. We meet Thor-Gwen in this issue, which was hilarious. Tim Seeley, I think if this book was maybe written by anyone else, it may not have been as fun as it is with Tim Seeley writing it. Really enjoyed this one, and looking forward to the next issue. We have Spider-Man number 92. 93 will end this run, and if you would like Amazing Spider-Man number 1, let me know. We just had our final order cut off this week, so we ordered kind of tight. So if you're interested at all in Amazing Spider-Man, let us know. We'll save you a copy of the few that we have left. And that's Amazing Spider-Man number 2. 93 ends this current run, and it'll start a whole new run. But what's really cool is that, so the run previous to this, written by Dan Slott had been on Amazing Spider-Man for years and years and years. He ended it with the Red Goblin. Everyone was so hyped over the Red Goblin. First appearance, blah, blah, blah. So hyped. So this run starts, no acknowledgement of the Red Goblin. Red Goblin never to be mentioned, or maybe mentioned, but never seen or heard from again. Towards the end of this run, they introduced a new character known as Queen Goblin. The cool part is that we're going to have the same writer, Zach Thompson? You have to excuse me. It's Zach is his first name. I believe it's Thompson. Anyways, the writer from this series will continue on into the Amazing Spider-Man number 1, so it may not be the last we hear of from the Red Goblin. Pretty neat character, and it will be nice to see them in the next run and just not forgotten about. Then we have Star Wars Crimson Reign, number 3. I say Crimson Dawn because that's where the name comes from, Crimson Reign. The Crimson Dawn crime syndicate is trying to take over, led by Kira. If you remember her from, she was Han Solo's girlfriend from the Solo movie, A Solo Story, that came out 3 or 4 years ago, right after The Last Jedi came out. Anyways, this has been a lot of fun to read. In this book, we are introduced to the Archivist. The Archivist, at one time, worked for the Imperials. She was a fan of the dark side. She didn't really take a side, but she was more fascinated with the dark side and what it does to people. And once you're affiliated with the dark side, as you can see in Darth Vader and Darth Sidious, it starts to eat away at the very fiber. Your physical nature is eaten away, and you become some horrid, decrepit-looking creature. Being so associated with the dark side definitely affects this lady's looks. You see what she looked like before Order 66 and then after Order 66. And this really goes into a lot of what happened after all the Jedi disappeared. You know, all the Jedi are gone. What did the universe feel like for someone that's force sensitive like the Archivist? She goes to work for the Imperials, helping them find Jedi. So she isn't the most best or honest person, but Kira promises her if she helps her find one being in particular, it's a mystery where this person is, and we know they're alive. We're pretty sure we know that they're alive. Even after Order 66 and all the Jedi have been extinguished, we know this person still exists, and we want you to help us to find them. It was a lot of fun to read. I really enjoyed it. We've got Han Solo and Chewbacca number 1 miniseries. Also, another cover by Declan Shalvey right there. Pretty cool with Han and the Millennium Falcon. The Millennium Falcon, just like the movies, is shown off a lot in this book, it's a character unto itself, a silent character, but a character nonetheless. But we meet there are some first appearances in this book. I believe this is also a first appearance as well. You'll have to double check me on that one. Same with Gwenverse and Thor-Gwen, first appearance in that, and I believe in The Punisher, there's a first appearance as well. Lots of first appearances this week. Anyways, we've got a few in Han Solo and Chewbacca. We have one of Han's smuggling buddies, a co-criminal, so to speak. We know that Han Solo isn't a murderous person. He isn't a bad person. He's a smuggler and doesn't really have doesn't really owe much to anyone, and he lets you know it, including the people he partners in crime with in this. His partner believes that they've been abandoned right at the getaway when they've just made their heist. They're about to fly away, and the Millennium Falcon is nowhere to be seen. And his partner in crime is very much upset by that. They go back to Jabba, who they were running this job for. This person complains to Jabba about what Han has just done, blah, blah, blah. And Jabba doesn't really care. He's gotten what he needs. But Jabba then sends them on another mission with Greedo. So it's Chewbacca, Han, and Greedo are teaming up on what could be considered a suicide mission for Jabba the Hutt. Lots of Star Wars fun will ensue. Have fun reading. If you just want a fun, with a few first appearances, a fun Star Wars story, you're going to get it. This does take place before A New Hope. So before Han meets Leia, Luke Skywalker, anyone else in the known Star Wars universe, this story takes place right before Episode 4, A New Hope. Then we were able to snag one copy of this character cover by Ryan Stegman of Strange Academy number 16. We got Strange Academy number 17 with another gas lamp appearance. And then we've got the main cover there with Brother Voodoo. If you didn't know, this is going to be restarting in the summertime. I highly suggest jumping on it. It is a really fun book to read. We've got Thor number 21, second prints. We've got Thor number 23. If you haven't been reading Thor, pick up, let us know. We'll order you the volumes. We might have some stuff here. We've got jumping on points you can check out. There's just some stories that are just 2 or 3 issues. If we have them in stock, we'll hook you up. Or we'll just, like I said, we'll order you the trade. But definitely, if you've ever had a bit of interest in Thor, now is one of the best times to read it. I've really enjoyed it. I've read every issue except for this one. But I do know what happens. Thor has been imbued with the power of Odin in the last issue. So anyways, I'll just leave it at that. I won't tell you why or how or what other things happened. There's so much that's happened this last God of Hammer's story arc. It's been brutal. This is the last part, I believe, in the God of Hammer's story arc right now. We've got Timeless one-shot third print from Marvel Comics. This is a great story about Kang. You have a professor writing that's written in like a giant, it's going to be hugely revered paper or document on Doctor Doom and what a great villain he is, and and what a terrible person in general Doctor Doom is, and what a genius, the genius of Doom essentially is what this document will be about. Kang shows up and is like, listen, Doom isn't crap. I'm going to show you what a real villain does and how a real villain, they call me the Conqueror for a reason, and let me show you why. It was a great book. It also gives you a glimpse into what's going to happen this year within the Marvel Universe, which is pretty cool. And we can see on the cover some of the main focuses here. We got Spider-Man. I believe this is, that may have been Captain Carter, but you'll see in the book. But Miracle Man being the biggest one. If you don't know who Miracle Man is, look him up. He's got a storied past with Marvel, some other publishers, Todd McFarlane, Neil Gaiman. But he is a great character written by Alan Moore. Ended up at Marvel, and there's going to be it'll probably be a great story written by Donny Cates. Donny Cates is a huge fan of Miracle Man, and I believe he's somehow going to be involved in Marvel's future and Donny Cates' future here very, very soon. By the end of this year, we'll have a Mr. Miracle something or somewhere. But this was a lot of fun to read, and it's cool to get a little tip-off into what's going to be happening in the Marvel Universe this next 6 to 8 months we have left in this year. We've got Venom number 6, written by Al Ewing. This has been a really fun series. Eddie Brock is gone. He has become, oh my goodness, I'm blanking out here. The King in Black. Eddie Brock has become the King in Black. He's like an ethereal being. He exists only in the hive, it would seem. That's what we're being led to believe. Eddie's symbiote that we've known since Amazing Spider-Man 300 is out on its own, homeless, so to speak, hostless, so to speak, and is seeing itself as a father figure to Dylan Brock. Dylan wants nothing to do with that symbiote because he's seen all the pain and destruction it's caused his father and in Dylan's own life. He's seen what that symbiote has done to himself and the ones he loves. So he wants nothing to do with it. So Eddie's symbiote is watching from a distance. The Venom symbiote is watching over Dylan Brock from a distance. Dylan also has his own symbiote called Sleeper, who disguises itself as a black and green cat, which is pretty cool in and of itself. It's a father-son relationship, a son trying to deal with the loss of his father, the father, being there, but in, almost in a paranormal type of way, in the cloud, so to speak. Pretty cool story so far. I've enjoyed it. Venom number 6, and we should have all issues of Venom in stock if you want to start it up. We've got Women of Marvel number 1, one shot with Shuri on the cover. Pretty cool. X-Men Legends number 12, really cool classic cover with, almost said Nightwing, Nightcrawler, and Kitty Pryde. What else we got? Oh, yeah, you got it. Tom, what's happening, buddy? Tom Suhar, what's happening? Dr. Ben, I'll save you one. All right. X-Men Legends number 12. This is also the prelude to Excalibur. If you want to read it, look at the name. Look at that. Come on, Chris Claremont writing some X-Men stuff. You got to be there for it. Speaking of X-Men stuff, we have got Sabretooth number 2 out this week. I didn't get a chance to read number 1 until this week. Man, this is a pretty cool story. I've not been, there's so much X-Men stuff happening. It's really hard to keep up with. The diehards have been reading it and been liking it. And I wanted to read something X-related, without a lot of, worrying about who this mutant is and their lineage and, all that, all the crazy stuff that comes with X-Men. Not bagging on it whatsoever. There's just a lot there to know and to read. But, besides the stuff I know from when I was younger. Anyways, dramatic pause. Sabretooth has been found guilty of some terrible crimes by Magneto and Charles. They're sending him to the pit. The original idea was never to have a prison on Krakoa. Well, now they've, leave it to Sabretooth to have a first. There is now a prison on Krakoa for Sabretooth known as the Pit. He had been sentenced there to be there for eternity, to be conscious of where he is, who he is, and what's going on, but unable to use his body or speak, do anything. So what kind of torture would that be? It's like that Metallica video is what it reminds me of. So then he strikes a deal that even though his body will be physically confined and his mind will be present, his mind can travel anywhere and do anything. He's given that plea bargain at the last second. He reluctantly takes it because it sounds a lot better than what he's in store for, and they're trying to show him some mercy. So he accepts it. Then 5 other mutants are sent to hell. Like they've gone against the will of Krakoa, of Charles and Magneto. So they too are sentenced to hell. But now Sabretooth believes he has a team to fight back and get all of them out of the pit. Pretty cool story. They're basically in hell, and Sabretooth is Satan. That's what that's the quick pitch. Sabretooth goes to hell, becomes Satan. 5 more mutants show up. He forms a team and is now going to plow his way out as only he can. That's how I can describe him as a plow. He just doesn't stop until, just like his brother, doesn't stop until everything is dead. And he wants out of this place, and he believes he's found a way out. This was very unexpected for me. And it's got these great covers by Ryan Stegman. I think, to me, this is like McFarlane doing Hulk covers back in the 80s. You've got Stegman on these Sabretooth covers, and some rando covers here and there, too, just popping up. Dr. Ben will get you that Punisher. We've got X Deaths of Wolverine number 4, X Lives of Wolverine number 4, with a great Kevin Eastman cover there on the X Deaths 4. We've got, speaking of, just a little taste of Moon Knight, if you want to get familiar with the character, we have it right here. This is a $9.99 book, the Marvelverse Moon Knight. We also have one of Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur, too. We've got Detective 1056, Batman Scooby-Doo 12 of 12, Joker 13, one more issue in Joker, and then we have Naomi number 1. Her TV show is going to be here soon. And if you don't know who Naomi is or what she's capable of or any of that, there's no worries because they give you, Brian Michael Bendis writes this great in that he's basically giving you another quick introduction. You know, she's talking to a psychiatrist, briefly explaining who her parents are, where she is now. Her parents are dead. She's got adoptive parents. They know what she's capable of, but they're afraid of her power. They're afraid that she's too young to understand her power and use it responsibly. And not like she's going to go out and like show off or anything, but like just her powering up could, decapitate somebody. So they're trying to not stunt her growth, but slow her down a little bit. Like try and appreciate the power that you have, and use it responsibly, and think of those around you. She's best friends with Superman. She's part of the Justice League right now. This was a ton of fun to read. I really enjoyed it. The artwork was really nice as well. One of her best friends and confidants is one of her dad's best friends, her adopted father's. His name is D. He owns a garage. He was a mercenary in an alien war. He kind of looks like Vin Diesel, but that's okay. That's quite all right. This is him right there. That's D. There's D again. And she's talking to him, I love my dad, and my dad's looking out for me, but he's making it kind of hard on me right now. Anyways, just a lot of fun to read. If you have a young person in your home, read this with them and have fun reading the comics and watching the shows. This is really, that you should do that. It says season 2. Don't be intimidated by that. You definitely get the rundown of who the character is and where she's going and what she's doing. We've got Superman, Son of Kal-El, number 9. Great John Kent and Nightwing cover. We've got the Trials of the Amazons, number 1 of 2. This is going to be a crossover event. It's going to have some one-shots, and then it's going to cross over into the Wonder Woman title, and I believe one other possibly. Either way, these are bookends. This is part 1. Part 2 will be out once all the crossover parts are done. We've got this really nice Rose Besh cover. Pretty cool there. I'm in Love with the Villainess, Volume 1. Manga. Look it up. I'm sorry I can't tell you a lot about it, but I know Gloria was really excited when she saw it, and she loves manga, so good things there. Betty Page, The Alien Agenda. This is being written by Anna Maria. She was or is a cosplayer who was cosplaying Betty Page for some of the cosplay covers of the last series. She has written this. It sounds like a lot of fun and craziness, as these Betty Page books usually are. But Betty Page has been called by the government to investigate aliens in Roswell. She assembles a team of aliens and heads out to Roswell to find out what the heck is going on. And this mission that she's on is also deniable by the government. We do not know Betty Page or what she's up to if she gets caught or found out. Next to it, we have the Sumerian, Hour of the Dragon. You have to forgive me, the cover on the left, I'm not sure of the artist, but pretty cool anime-looking cover. Well, at least from the face, it's anime, but from the rest, it looks very real. Very realistic cover. You have Conan in the back, the Sumerian in the back. So what we have here is Robert E. Howard's Savage Hero, uncensored, unrestrained, violent, and it does get a little sexual, I will not lie. Cool Dan Panosian cover there. But this Hour of the Dragon was the only Conan novel that Robert E. Howard wrote. And one of his more acclaimed works, and now it's coming to us in a 3-part miniseries. Who read this? Dan Panosian did. The artwork in this book is absolutely insane. The writer is Julian Blondell. The artist is Valentine Saker. But the artwork is absolutely crazy. We have Zalton, Xaltohon, Zoltan the Powerful, who was an immortal being who ended up dying. He had an artifact that kept him immortal. That artifact was stolen from him. He was no longer immortal and then killed. You have a group of men that have found this artifact and are bringing it back to his body in an underground temple. The only thing in their way is the Sumerian, the king of Apollonia, Conan, won't allow this to happen, or accidentally allows it to happen, and now he's going up against Zoltohan the Powerful. You'll have to excuse me with that name. But again, this is unrestrained, violent Conan, that the way it was written by Robert E. Howard. If you're at all into excellent art, this genre, you're not going to want to miss this. Again, this was the only novel written by Robert E. Howard on Conan, adapted into, oh, look at that, it's a pretty cool page. Adapted into a comic, 3-issue comic book miniseries. Draculina number 2, Elvira meets Vincent Price number 5. I believe this ends the miniseries. Cool photo cover there. Lady Mechanica by Joe Benitez, issue 3. Usually his miniseries run 3 issues. Not exactly sure if this one is. I believe this one might go a little bit further now that it's on Image. I think it's going to go to issue 4 or 5 at least. Then we have Little Monsters from Jeff Lemire and Dustin Nguyen. They usually team up together. A little bit, I don't know, it's Dustin Nguyen's art for sure, but being in black and white, I have a new appreciation for it. So this was literally just an introduction of characters, the world that they live in, and we hear about some other characters that are probably going to be very, very important to the story, including the man here on the front. This is cover C. We only have 1 issue of this left, but if you're interested in this at all, please let us know because we have more on the way. A very limited number of cover A, not this cover, on the way. This cover was sold out. Highly suggest checking it out. It is a vampire story, I'll tell you that, vampire children's story, but when Jeff Lemire is involved, it's going to be much more than just a vampire story, I believe. I'm excited to see where this goes. Again, this was an introduction to all of the kids in this apocalyptic world. They've lived in this world for 100 years. A being known as the Elder left them 100 years ago, probably after turning them. We get introduced to all these characters. One's, like a beatnik type of musician kid. You've got a couple twins that are, trouble, so to speak. You've got this little boy here at the very beginning who's very quiet and reserved, Romy, who likes to draw. Very peaceful type of kid, you can tell. It runs the gamut as far as the archetypes of kids that we've seen in entertainment, like Goonies. Not just Goonies. The Stephen King book, Richard Dreyfuss narrated movie where they find the dead body in the woods. Someone help me out here. Those type of kids, they're little, they're smart ass, they're sassy, they're fun. It's going to be a cool book, I think. It was hard to tell off this 1 issue. I'm gonna say, but it's Jeff Lemire, so I have faith. Stand By Me. Thank you, Gloria Weber. Mighty Morphin number 17. New Masters, one of my favorite things to read. I'm probably way over time here. Patrick, if you're out there, come on in. New Masters number 2. This was one of my picks of the week when number 1 came out. Number 2 definitely doesn't disappoint. We go further into the life of Solesh, her husband Persio, their daughter Ula. We get introduced to some new characters. They have their way out of the ghetto, so to speak. They have their way out of this slum that they live in. Instead of like trying to hunt down jobs for money, all this, they have their way out. This big, most powerful person in the world comes to them with this job, but their mother turns it down because she knows in her heart that the person that they'd be working for is a terrible person. This also pisses that person off greatly. Anyways, this world is very rich with characters, aliens, technology. You've got to read it yourself to be able to appreciate it. The world that Shobo and Shof have created is amazing. They're video game designers. They recently won a really big award as far as creativity and world building and storytelling. It may be game related, but really great book. I can't say enough about New Masters. Definitely check it out. We have Perhapanauts from Black Caravan and Scout. Trigger Warnings Red Room by Ed Piskor. This is set in the Red Room universe. This is the next 4-chapter installment. Really cool stuff. Highly suggest checking it out. Graphic, very super graphic violence, and really super detailed artwork. Sonia Black, White, and Red number 8. Sonic the Hedgehog Imposter Syndrome 3. Spawn 327 with that not amazing Spider-Man, Spider-Man number 1 cover, swiping his own work with Haunt. That's Haunt on the cover. We Live, The Age of Paladins. If you read We Live previously, you're not going to want to miss this. This is a continuation of the story, picking up 6 years later. After the Paladins have saved humanity, they're now trying to be wiped out by something known as the New Nature. Hawkeye, Kate Bishop. We've got bundles. We've got cover sets of Punisher 1, Gwenverse 1. We've got a Moon Knight storybook. We've got Princess Bride action figures. The Dread Pirate Roberts and Princess Buttercup. We've got the Han Solo Chewbacca 1 in 25, Punisher 1 in 125, Captain Carter 1 in 10, Gwenverse 125, Usagi Yojimbo, the first volume in black and white, Power Rangers, A Glutton for Punishment, Adventure, and Game Master's Scream. We have the core book available too, We Live, Volume 1, The Mandalorian sticker book, and Wind graphic novel, Volume 2. I'm Tony, your comic book host of New Comic Book Day at Robot Zero. I'm going to go let some people in, get the store open. No matter where you are, visit your local comic book shop. And if you don't have one, stop by Robot Zero. We'll be here all day until 6 o'clock. See you then.